Hi, I'm Paul with Boaters Exchange in Rockledge, Florida. We are a full-service boat dealer based in Rockledge. We've got 2 locations. We've also got New Smyrna Beach. Now, not only are we a boat dealer, but we also have an awesome ship store. So today we're going to be talking about some of the fun, innovative products that are a little different that maybe you didn't think might be important to have for your boat. We all know that you need to have life jackets and dock lines and fenders and things like that. But what about some of the cool stuff? There's a lot to talk about in marine electronics. A lot of new innovation. Of course, the needle is constantly moving. But one of the ones that I would like to single out is the new Standard Horizon GPS NMEA compliant VHF radio. What does all that mean? Well, first of all, VHF radio stands for very high frequency, and it's a way for boaters to be safe on the water, because through their boat and through the VHF radio, they can communicate to other boats and also the Coast Guard. So VHFs have come a long way. The best part about them is that they can transmit your position information to the authorities, to the Coast Guard. And so now VHF radios, or up until now, VHF radios required connectivity to your GPS in order to transmit latitude and longitude position when you hit the distress button. But this VHF radio can do all that standalone because it has a built-in GPS receiver. So it has its own ability to transmit position information without having to rely on connectivity to a GPS, to a chart plotter as an example, because of that. So that's one advantage. Another advantage is that this machine is NMEA200 compliant, and what that means is that it can interconnect much more easily with other modern day electronics. So in the event that we did want this unit to communicate with an onboard chart plotter, for instance, it can do that in a sort of plug and play fashion, because it's using the same language, the same data interchange format called NMEA200. So if this unit were placed, as an example, in a boat and it was sort of buried down in the cabin or in a metal structure that would prevent it from getting a clear signal of GPS satellites, it can still get latitude and longitude positional information through the NMEA connection, and that information would come through the chart plotter. So some advances there. It's not super expensive. This one's right around $300. It's new. There are much less expensive options out there, but that's just one that we've recently brought in. Way more to talk about in VHF radios. Again, just wanted to show you one that I thought was pretty innovative. Now we're going to talk about one of my favorites, which is barbecue grills on the boat. And my family and I love to grill while we are on the water. We like pulling up to a sandbar, or if we're in the Bahamas, we go up to an island. We try to go where there's not a lot of people, and we will either grill hamburgers, or sometimes we like to bring wings that come from Publix that are pre-cooked, and then I just sort of heat them up on the grill. It doesn't make a big mess, and it's easy to do. But the key is having a good grill solution. So there's 2 big grill providers in the market right now. There's Magma. I would call them the sort of 800-pound gorilla, if you will. They're very popular. They're the most expensive, I believe. And then there's Kuuma. We stock at Boaters Exchange Kuuma brand because we feel it's the best value, frankly. So I use Kuuma. Now there's 2 main grills that Kuuma offers. There's different variations. They do have a kettle grill, which I think is kind of silly. Instead of a kettle grill, I actually prefer the rectangular shaped grills. I think they're just more efficient. It's a more efficient use of space, and I feel they store easier. So the 2 main Kuuma grills that we carry are the 160 and the 216 Elite. The main difference between these grills is that the 216 is a little bit easier to clean. So I've used them both. I'm going to show you the 216. The neat thing about this grill, first of all, is that it has legs. So if you want to put the grill out on the back deck, sometimes I will do that. And what I'll do is I'll put a towel down, a big towel on the back fish box just to protect the fish box. And I'll usually pick what I call a boat towel just to protect the surface of the boat, but also I don't care if it gets any grease spilled on it. And so just that simply, you can put the legs out on the grill. Or if you want, you can use the rod holder mount, which we also tend to use a lot. And the rod holder mount simply goes into a rod holder. It's got the knurls on the bottom, so it sits in there. And this can be adjusted up or down and rotated. That makes it really simple. There is also a rail mount. And it's kind of hard to see how that works, but this just simply clamps onto a rail if you've got one, and that will mate to the bottom of the grill. So different mounting solutions. What I carry on board my boat is the rod mount. There's one that has a ball joint that's universal that I prefer. And then of course sometimes I'll just, like I said, use the legs. On the 216, these are propane. They use a standard Coleman style small propane that you can get at pretty much anywhere, Walmart. It connects very simply. They're very simple. There's a regulator there on the side. This has a push button start. So just that simply, you're grilling. No need for a lighter in this scenario. In fact, here's the regulator. This grill has the upper tray and the bottom tray. It also has a temperature gauge on top, which you can keep track of how hot it's getting inside. When you're done grilling and you're ready to clean, by the way, there's a catch right here for oil. But when you're ready to clean the inside of the grill at the end of the day, let's say you're back at the dock, this particular grill comes apart very simply. And I like that. I like the fact that I can easily clean it. This whole insert just comes right out. And what I like to do is just take a garden hose and spray that off under high pressure. I just put my thumb over it, and it just sprays all that residue off. The bottom of the grill has stayed relatively clean because most of the grease and debris has caught inside this tray. That's why I like the 216. The 160 doesn't have that insert feature, so it is less expensive. And just that simply, you can put the grates back in and store it. You also have the option for a cover. Real simple cover system that this whole grill fits into a zip cover. And the number one feature, or the number one accessory besides a cover and the rod mount, is going to be this tray. So the way that works is the tray just goes on the front. Makes it handy when I'm done with the wings or hamburgers or whatever. I just put them here on the tray. Sometimes I'll put my tongs there. But then when you're done grilling, you can just take the tray and put it on the inside of the grill like that for storage. So makes it that simple. That's the Kuuma grill. We think the Kuuma grill is the best bang for the buck. The 160 retails for about $270, and the 216 Elite retails for about $320. So they're here at Boaters Exchange. If you have any questions, give us a call. So those are a few of the innovative products at Boaters Exchange. We are proud to offer you personalized service where you can touch and feel the product ahead of time, get your questions answered. We have a dedicated store clerk in our ship store. We have items that are arriving literally every day, and we also have, in some cases, special ordering where we can do same day and next day arrival. So we also have awesome prices. We're extremely competitive. So you don't need to go online. You can come here and get all your questions answered ahead of time. And we are Boaters Exchange. We're located in Rockledge and New Smyrna Beach, 2 locations to serve you. You can find us online at boatersexchange.com. I'm Paul. I look forward to seeing you here.